Quite honestly, there wasn't anything that happened today that's surprising to me. Youngstown State's a good football team. They're very well coached. They got plenty of guys that can play here. Like I said, they're well coached, sound. It meant a lot to them. They played their tail off. I give them a lot of credit for being competitive, keeping it close. You look back at the last 4 years that they've played the FBS schools. They've either won or played within 10 points. So it's not surprising to me. We were prepared for this. Our guys didn't panic when it was close. They thought we had a good halftime. Came in, made some good adjustments, came out, played hard in the second half. The fact that they kept playing is not surprising to me. Give them a bunch of credit, but I learned a long time ago not to take wins for granted. There's a lot of college football teams across the country that would have lost this game. And I'm glad, obviously, that our team played well in the second half and were able to get the victory. 17-point win against these guys is something I take. A lot of things that we can learn from. We'll probably, after tomorrow night, after we watch this video and meet with our guys and all that stuff, there'll probably be more things that we'll learn from this game than from the first game. Once again, glad to get out of here with the victory, and I think Youngstown State's going to win some games. Take some questions.
The perception was that you guys had trouble blocking the defensive front the first half. Second half, you did much better. Is that true?
Did.
What did you see?
Did. I mean, it was a soft box. We need to be able to do a better job than that. And I give them credit for holding their own. I thought they held their own, and we challenged the O-line at halftime, and that was something that we had talked about all week. our depth, us being able to rotate some guys and play some different guys. Was hoping that we'd be able to wear them out more in the second half, and we did. I'm not so sure they didn't wear us out as well, because we didn't do a very good job of getting off the field in the fourth quarter on defense. So that'll get addressed. We'll look at it and see why.
Dana, y'all played a pretty clean opening game as far as penalties and execution. Not so much today. What was it a mindset thing, or is it just football?
Well, we had 6 penalties, but the thing that got me hot was the timing on those penalties was bad. So there's a lot of teams that commit more than 6 penalties in a game. But you're right, and that is one of the things that I was happy with after that first game. It was a pretty clean game. I thought we blocked better than them. I thought we tackled better than them. Didn't have many turnovers and didn't have many penalties, and the turnovers were something that I thought we could fix. Today, I can't say that it was clean. We only turned the ball over once, I believe, but it happened to be the timing aspect of it was bad. The timing with the penalties was bad. The missed tackles was bad. Our inability to be able to block a pretty box was bad. So, probably give Youngstown State some credit for that, but it wasn't as clean as it was in the first game.
Did you get any sort of satisfactory explanation on the 4th and 2 procedure coming out of the timeout?
Y'all saw my reaction to a couple of those things. I'm not at liberty to discuss my feelings towards what happened, but there was a couple of times I was pretty hot.
And why is it? Do you think that Skyler seems to be so much more accurate on his long passes than he is even on his short and intermediate?
Well, I mean, he was 20 out of 33. What's that? Right at about 65% again. I'm not a math major, but close, right? Well, that's 2 weeks in a row we're at 65%. So the deep ball was there more now, and he's always thrown a good deep ball. I'm happy with his development when it comes to the underneath stuff, and that we're going to keep working on that.
What made the deep ball so effective today? Was it speed advantage, something you saw on their back end, or?
Yeah, that I mean, just the way they played their guys, they were funneling everything into the safeties, and those safeties had to come down and get involved in the run game, and we didn't really make them come down on the run very often, but our play action was good. We did a good job up front of keeping our pads low, and Scully rode the back, and it just got a clean release of the inside, and we just outran them.
So how was Skylar this week in practice and today even?
He was really limited all week. I mean, it's a nagging injury. I was really proud of his attention without the reps. You know, being a senior, it was with as much reps as he's got. You know, he didn't have to take as many reps in practice this week. It was good for Will. I thought Will was better when he went in there. His attention was better. I wasn't so sure I wasn't going to put him in the first or second quarter just to see how he reacted to it. I was thinking about doing the same thing with Chugs just to see how he reacted to it, but it was so close I couldn't do that. But those two guys had a better week of practice and liked their mentality on the sidelines much more. But Skylar didn't get as many reps. He practiced Friday. He came in, he looked good. You know, he wasn't limited at all today.
Coach, on those deep balls too, it seemed like at least on two of them, the Skylar threw into double coverage. Does that speak to the confidence he has throwing to those receivers to beat those guys in double coverage to make the catch too?
Well, it was double coverage, but the safeties were down, and we knew especially Shelton could get behind those guys. So we worked hard on that all week and got exactly what we thought we were. Got exactly what we worked on, and it worked out.
Danny, with Skylar's injury, it didn't appear that you limited his running much. You ran the ball a lot. I mean, did you back off a little bit?
I don't know if he ran it a lot. His number's not on here, but he ran it 8 times. That's too much. A couple of them were scrambles that were not called. He was feeling fine. You know, I was going to be careful. There was a couple of, you know, quarterback draws, you know, that we ran in there just to kind of seal the game. It was just so open. I was just like, how you feel? He goes, I'm good, because we knew he could break through that and then he could get down on the ground after the first down. So I was not planning on running him like that, but based on what they were doing, it made sense.
Dana, the wide receiving core, are you pleased with your play through 2 games so far?
Yeah, you know, especially DeKeel. You know, he almost had another 100-yard game. He's solid. Was really excited to see Shelton, you know, have the game that he did. Karan, you know, is being solid. You know, still looking for that fourth. You know, I don't think Javon played very well. I don't think Justin Crawford played very well. You know, why, I don't know. We just got to keep working on those guys. But those other 3 and Shell, I thought played really well.
And what adjustments did you make at halftime to account for the third quarter explosion?
Nothing. I mean, I wasn't confused with anything that we were doing, to be honest with you. I think the biggest thing we did at halftime was just go in there and take a deep breath and not panic. You know, 14-14, not surprising. You know, it did not surprise me. So we confirmed a couple of things. We challenged, especially the guys up front. We knew what they were doing. I thought the play calls were good, and we just went out there and executed better in the third quarter.
What about your defense, which I know you haven't had a chance to break down the film, but what's your initial take on it?
Too many missed tackles. Too many missed tackles. You know, we were 5 of 14 on third down conversions, 1 of 4. That's 6 of 15. That's not good enough for us defensively. You know, finally got 1 pick. You know, but we're not creating turnovers. Didn't get to the quarterback. You know, didn't play like I feel like we can play defensively. Didn't play like I thought we played last week. Don't have an explanation why.
After last week, how important was it for Kennedy McCoy to have the kind of game that he had today? And why did you choose to give him such an important carry for his first carry? I mean, it was...
Well, just next guy in. I actually looked at J1. I said, we good with 4 in there? He goes, heck yeah, Coach, he's good. I said, all right, and he looked good. We've seen him do that in practice. You guys have seen him do that in scrimmages. So we got confidence in Kennedy. I think he was a little wide-eyed last week and just getting his feet wet a little bit. And today it was good for him to get in there and play like we know how he can play. I mean, we've seen him do that. We've seen him do that. So we're going to need him. Without a doubt, we're going to need him down the road.
Coach, talking about the physical nature and the line of scrimmage on Michelle, you know, he was running hard. Do you think that maybe wear them down a little bit in the second half? I know you guys had some big plays there, but anything in particular with that, just in terms of your line play?
Yeah, I figured we'd kind of wear them down a little bit. They weren't very deep, you know, on the D line. I think their starters are pretty good. That's a decent D line now. You know, especially those two ends. Those guys are good-looking kids. Was part of the plan. Stick with the game plan and hopefully wear them out in the second half. And I think that happened.
Maybe the inside stuff to the keel. Does the outside stuff happen without that, and vice versa? Does the outside stuff maybe free up the keel when you're trying to control those safeties like you were?
I don't think so. I mean, it's all relative. I mean, just you got to look where the grass is. You got to look where the holes are. We knew we had some things in the past game with Tequila across the middle when the safeties were back. When the safeties come down, that's when we're going to get the outside guys going. I don't think that has as much to do with that as it has to do with the effectiveness of running the ball.
When their backup came in, he led them to a touchdown. Now, at that point, I don't know, obviously, what their coach had in mind, but you guys pretty much, I'm sure, though, had the same game plan. They just executed well.
They did. I thought that kid went in there and did a good job. I don't know why they took the other guy out. That other guy was a scrappy dude now. You know, we knew he was a pretty good player, but he came in and made some plays in the run game and stood in there, took a couple of shots, and I don't know what their thought process was. It didn't really change what our game plan was, though.